All right, so you want to dive into the world of Tesla.
But you want to go deeper than just the headlines.
Okay.
Like, we're not just talking electric cars here.
Right.
We're talking about a company that's really captured people's imaginations.
Yeah, it really is fascinating how they've become like the innovator in, well, I guess you could call it the car space, but it's almost like they're defying what we thought a car company could even be.
Exactly. And one of the things that really jumped out for me when I was looking at your research was this whole need for speed thing. You've got all these articles about the Tesla Roadster just crushing speed records.
Yeah.
And even those like super high-end sports cars, these things are eating their dust.
It's pretty wild.
So how do they even do that? How does an electric car even get that fast?
Well, a lot of it comes down to the electric motors and how they deliver power. It's totally different from a gasoline engine. The regular engine, you have to build up revs. But electric motors, they have this thing called instant torque.
Okay.
So basically it means you get that acceleration right away, like that feeling of getting pushed back in your seat, boom, instant
Oh,
rush.
yeah. It's a totally different experience.
So it's not even just about being fast, it's like being instantly fast.
Exactly.
And it seems like that kind of feeds into their whole image too.
Oh, absolutely.
Like they're not just
Yep.
building cars, they're building these machines that defy expectations.
Mm.
And speaking of image, I noticed in your research you had some articles about Tesla's design collaborations.
Yeah, they've done some really interesting stuff.
What's the deal with that?
Well, they've partnered with some pretty big names.
Yeah, everything from fashion brands to, believe it or not, entertainment companies.
Like that SpaceX Edition Model S I saw something about.
Right.
With a rocket thruster Easter egg.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a perfect example of how they use these collaborations. It's very strategic. It's about enhancing their image, reaching a wider audience.
right.
With the SpaceX edition, it wasn't just about looking cool. They actually incorporated design elements inspired by SpaceX technology.
Oh, wow.
And they even had this performance package, to really play up the rocket connection. It boosted the acceleration even more.
So it's about more than just the car itself. It's about aligning themselves with this whole idea of cutting-edge technology and pushing boundaries.
Yeah, they're not just a car company. They're a tech company, a design company, even like a lifestyle brand almost. It's really smart what they're doing. By challenging that traditional image of electric cars as like just practical or eco-friendly, they've made themselves into a luxury brand, something people really aspire to own. Really brilliant strategy.
Speaking of brilliant, did you know about these Easter eggs they hide in their cars?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like little software surprises. Kind of geeky, but fun, right?
Yeah.
But we should probably talk about the name for a sec. Tesla.
Oh, yeah.
In your research, you've got some stuff about Nikola Tesla.
Right.
Any connection there, or is it just me?
I was wondering that too, actually.
So it's not a coincidence. So Nikola Tesla was this brilliant inventor, Serbian-American. And back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, he was like the guy for electrical engineering, really groundbreaking work with AC electricity,
Okay.
which is what powers all of Tesla's vehicles today.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah, he's a pretty big deal.
So it's like they're picking up where he left off,
You can say that.
carrying on that legacy of innovation with electric power.
Definitely. Which brings us to the guy in charge today, Elon Musk.
Right.
Your research had quite a bit on him.
It's kind of hard to talk about Tesla without talking about Elon Musk.
Right.
He really embodies that whole Tesla ambition.
He's definitely a unique figure.
I mean, the guy's running Tesla A&D trying to get us to Mars with SpaceX. Plus, all that stuff he's doing with transportation here on Earth.
It's a lot.
It's mind-blowing.
Yeah, he's definitely a polarizing figure. People have strong opinions, but there's no denying he's making an impact.
Yeah, for sure.
And a key part of his vision for Tesla is making these vehicles more accessible, not just for like the wealthy few.
Yeah, like making them more mainstream.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're doing that with their lineup.
Yeah.
They've got the Model S,
Mhm.
the Model 3, the Cybertruck, the Tesla Semi for trucking even.
Right. It's not just one car for one type of driver anymore.
Right.
They're trying to cover all the bases, Really give people options.
So what about self-driving cars?
Oh, yeah. They're definitely pushing the boundaries there, too.
So they're just trying to change what we drive. They're
Yes.
trying to change how we drive.
Basically, it's clear they're trying to completely reshape the future of transportation.
It's a pretty big goal.
It is.
But realistically, can they pull it off? Like, are there any hurdles they're facing trying to make all this happen? I mean, making electric cars for everyone sounds great in theory.
It does.
But what about the actual costs? Are
Right.
they really doing enough to make these cars affordable for regular people?
Well, that's definitely one of the big hurdles right now. Electric vehicles in general, they just cost more upfront. compared to gas-powered cars. I mean,
Yeah.
and Tesla's working on it, but it's still a big jump for a lot of people.
Okay, so cost is one thing, but what about the whole charging situation?
Yeah, the infrastructure.
Right. Like I hear people talk about range anxiety, not enough charging stations.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Is that something to be concerned about, or?
I think it's a valid concern. For electric vehicles to really take off, we need a good charging infrastructure everywhere.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Tesla's made progress with their supercharger network, but there's still gaps,
Especially outside the cities, I imagine.
Exactly.
So even if they figure out the cost thing,
Right.
there's still that whole other layer of like practical stuff to work out.
Yes.
But hey, even with all that said, Tesla's clearly making a big impact.
Mm.
And it's not just about the cars themselves, right? We were talking earlier about their focus on safety.
Right, right. Yeah, they always get top ratings from the NHTSA and those guys. It's really impressive.
So what's their secret?
Well, part of it's their design philosophy. Like the way they position the battery pack low in the car,
Okay.
it creates a lower center of gravity, makes it more stable.
Interesting.
Less likely to roll over.
Wow. So they're really thinking about safety from the ground up.
Exactly. It's not just about adding airbags or whatever.
Right. It's about the whole package.
Yeah, the whole philosophy.
And people are responding to that.
They are. Their market value, their stock prices, consumers clearly believe in what they're doing.
It's pretty amazing to see how much they've shaken things up. I mean, remember when electric cars were like a novelty?
Yeah, a niche thing.
Now you've got all these major car companies playing catch up.
Right. It's like they've single-handedly shifted the entire industry.
It's wild.
Now, all these other companies, they have to invest in electric.
Yeah, they don't really have a choice anymore.
Nope. And that's good for consumers, right? More competition means faster innovation, more choices.
Right, right. So Tesla's not just making cars, they're basically driving the future of transportation.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, so we've covered a lot today. The speed, the style, the tech,
Interesting.
the safety, the impact. What's the one thing you really want our listeners to walk away with today?
That's a good question. I think the biggest thing is this. Tesla is more than just a car company. They're leading a tech revolution, really. They're pushing the boundaries of what's possible with sustainable transportation.
It's inspiring.
It really is. And who knows what they'll do next.
Right. So that's our deep dive on Tesla, folks. Thanks for joining us.